So this is the cybersecurity session. Okay. So my name is Rabi Ruhi, and I work in Accenture Middle East. I lead IT in the UAE. I can speak 3 languages. I can understand 2 more languages, and I'm a gamer. I love playing games. You have Fadil Al Said on the call. Fadil, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi guys. Yeah. My name is Fadil Said. As Rabi said, I'm an IT professional in Saudi Arabia. I enjoy like swimming, like outdoor activities in general, swimming, cycling, fishing. You guys have a good session today.
So we also have Naila from our team who is on the call. Naila.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the cybersecurity program that is put together by Accenture for the AI camp. I work as well for Accenture with Rabiu and Fadil, but my scope is corporate citizenship, and what I do is work together with different partners. One of them is the Ministry of AI on bringing social impact, working with families, children, community, youth to bring a certain level of technical understanding and awareness. And I hope you guys enjoy the workshop today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Naila.
So I'm just going to post the background if you guys would like to use it and have time to kind of navigate through that.
Definitely. So I am going to be talking about a few topics today. Okay. One is password security, then cyber hygiene, cyberbullying. Let's go phishing and malware. Okay. So I hope this is going to be an interesting session. If any of you know what cybersecurity means, please type it down on the chat. I would like to see who knows what exactly cybersecurity is, so that we can have an understanding of this. Okay. Okay. So let's start off with password security. What is one simple way to keep your house safe? So if you know the answer, just type it on the chat. Ah, very nice, Dr. Levin. So just put in your thoughts, please. What is one simple way to keep your house safe? Yes, Mansi, cybersecurity is. Yes, locking the door. Exactly. So locking the door is the basic way to keep your house safe. Okay. So how do you keep your system safe? How do you keep your identity safe? This is a question that we ask, and that is to have a secure password. Now, this is a list of all the top 500 or the top passwords in UAE. Does any of you or have any of you ever used these any of these passwords? Just type it on the chat, please. Let me go back. I see some parents, typing it out. Okay, yes, we all have been guilty of doing this. It's easy, using 1 2 3 4 5, double one, especially for your phone and for your iPad and all that. This is fine, but it's not very secure, especially when you have an online identity. Okay, and yes, Wi-Fi passwords indeed, and that's one of the most vulnerable points, when it comes to devices. Wi-Fi security, because as soon as anyone can see your SSID in range or your Wi-Fi name in range and can access that, they have access to all the devices in your house. This essentially gives someone external access to everything that is in your house, and they can use their access to access your PC, access your iPad, access your phone, access your TV, all these things. And let me tell you, there's a whole world of hacking that you don't know about. Okay, you think that, okay, I have an iPhone, nobody can hack an iPhone. No, it's easy to hack an iPhone. There's specific software that targets an iPhone. You just get a message, a random message, you click on a link, boom, your iPhone is infiltrated. And this is the reality. Okay, threat actors, that is, people who are, or the organizations who specialize in these things, use these methods to get information. Okay, and this is used throughout the world by governments, by private organizations. So you have to be very careful of and make sure that you have a secure password. So how do we have a secure password? Okay, let's look at this video, okay, from Jimmy Kimmel Live. Okay, let me quickly check if my audio is being shared. Okay, here we go. And
about cybersecurity lately,
now
largely
I
because of what
believe, yes,
happened to Sony. Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers, and he plans to address this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. You know, the most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on a Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon,
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School
Oh, when did you graduate?
in 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Have you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1.
Like my birthday,
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th,
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6/12,
Nine.
95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gemma, 1, 2, 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so
Like what's a good Italian password?
my grandma's name,
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned a terrible lesson. Hi, I'm Jimmy. You know, we've been hearing.
so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So yeah, I mean, this is the state of the world that we live in. A lot of people are still getting used to the online world, and it's very hard to have multiple passwords because we have passwords for so many sites. It's like on average around 100 to 120 sites we have access to. Okay, and that's not just counting your social media sites, your banks, random sites that you go in, shopping sites, and so on and so forth. So all these sites have passwords. Okay, and then what we do is we just reuse our passwords, and it's easy for us, because who can keep track of all these passwords? And to be honest, me, being an IT professional, I'm guilty of the same thing. I reuse passwords, and then I slowly started realizing that this is not the greatest thing. Okay. So now I use a password manager, okay, to use it. So we'll talk about the password managers. But first, let's see if we can come up with a smart password. So what is a smart password? A smart password has at least 8 characters, has uppercase letters, has lowercase letters, includes numbers, and includes symbols. So I'm going to give all of you an exercise, okay? And let's try this. Let's create a password, okay? So use a phrase or a word that you can easily remember. Replace certain letters with symbols or numbers, and turn a few letters to uppercase, okay? I'm using an example here. I'm taking the word cybersecurity, and I'm converting it into a secure password. Now you can read this, okay? It says CY, so capital C, YB3, which is replacing the E, R, and then the capital S, and again 3, which is replacing the E, and C, and the U is replaced by the @ symbol, and repeat. Okay. Now, do you think this is a secure password? Let's check. Okay. So I'm going to go to a website. Okay. So let's go to secure. Okay. Let me give me a second, please. Sorry. I'm just going to plug my monitor in so it's easy for me to navigate quickly. Okay, so let me quickly stop sharing and I'll share my screen again. I'll need to work that out. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's. Okay, so we go here, and I'm going to copy my password from here. Okay, I'm going to copy my password from here. Go back to. Oh, yeah, it's working now. Okay, I believe you can see my desktop. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, so I pasted my cybersecurity password here, and it will take 2 million years to crack. So I'm going to paste this link on the chat. Okay, so let's see if any of you can come up with a very secure password. So if you just take a couple of minutes, write down a password that you think is secure, paste it in the chat here. Okay, and let's test to see if this is good. Not. I'm not really sure I understand, Umar. Just type out your password. Okay, anybody, just maybe 1 or 2 passwords. Let's check if this is secure or not. Okay, that's good. Let's try this. Okay, copy that, put it in here. Wow, that's a very secure password. 200 million years. Very good. Okay, let's try the second one. Excellent. Thanks for this responses. So I'm going to paste that here. 200 years. Good passwords, yes. So this is password security. But one of the things that you have to be aware of is that it's easy to just type out passwords. But the biggest challenge would be, wow, this is a very secure password, 15 billion years. Very good, British. So one of the things that would be challenging is actually having a password, typing in a password, and then remembering the password across all these websites that we're on, and to make sure that we don't reuse this password. So one thing that you can use, a tool that you can use, generate a secure password, is passwordgenerator.net. So you go there, You just type in, you pick the requirements that you want, and it will generate a password for you. That's one way of doing it. The second way is using a password manager. Now, if you look at my PC here, okay, you can see I have LastPass. So LastPass gives you a free account on one device. So you can have, two different accounts on two different. So I have my work PC and I use LastPass with my work email. And then I have a personal machine, which I use LastPass on that. Subscription is not that expensive, but you can, feel free to try. And if you feel that it is valuable to you, you can use LastPass. Okay, that is just one password managing tool. Now, what this does is this actually saves all my passwords. And then what I can also do is I can generate a secure password, and that would then be saved into my account. Okay, so that's a good way to have password hygiene. So in this case, you don't need to remember the passwords. Okay, it's already saved in your password manager. And you can access this anywhere. You can have your master password. You can enable MFA, no OTP with MFA. So using multi-factor authentication. So if you don't know what multi-factor authentication is, do check it out online. Okay, it's basically a way of having a secondary authentication. Now, you would have used multi-factor authentication even if you don't know what it is. When you try to pay something online, you use your credit card, you go online to a site, you try to pay. You get an OTP from your bank saying, enter your OTP. Someone is you're trying to authenticate a transaction. This is multi-factor or two-factor authentication. Okay, essentially your number becomes your OTP receiving device. So what has been found is that SMS, okay, in this region, it's a bit secure. SIMs are a bit secure. But for example, in the US, SIM swapping is a big issue. Okay, so it was easy to call up the provider, maybe give a stolen social security number. So data leaks, these are very, it's everywhere. I mean, people's data gets leaked all the time. Credit card information, social security numbers, and so on and so forth. Now, there is an excellent site that actually gives you an information of what breaches you have experienced. So I'm going to go to this site. So it's have I been pawned? Let me quickly admit this person into this call. Okay. Okay, Naila, if you could ask Hannah to make Fadil co-host as well, so that he can admit people into the call, that would be great. Yes. Okay, so this is the site haveibeenpawned.com. I'm going to paste this link as well for those of you who would be interested in checking the breaches. So this site actually lists all breaches that happen. So I'm going to type in my email address. This is my personal Gmail address. And let me see. Okay, I have been. So my email has been found in 18 different data breaches. Okay, 18 data breaches, which is huge. So if I have been reusing my password, it's potentially likely that my passwords, has been stolen. Okay, Daily Motion, Dub Smash, Exploit, Gravata, Heroes of New Earth, LinkedIn, MyFitnessPal, all these things, Zomato, all these sites were hacked. Addresses, usernames, passwords, all this MD5 hashes of passwords, which can potentially be hacked as well, were stolen. So you have to be very careful here. Okay, it's easy to get your password stolen. It's easy to get your data stolen, even if you don't mean it. Okay, so always use multi-factor authentication. Okay, you can use LastPass for your authentication. You can use Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator. Now, most sites and most devices, most applications and services require you now to have two-factor authentication enabled. If you haven't, go back, start enabling two-factor authentication on your Google accounts, on your Gmail accounts, basically on your Hotmail, Outlook, your email accounts, and anything else that you can, banks, everything that's sensitive, and I would say anything and everything used two-factor authentication if you can. Okay, so use a password manager, use two-factor authentication. So let's move on first. Okay, always change your default passwords. Change your passwords on a routine basis. Always set a password protected lock screen. Okay, and do not document passwords in unsecure locations. So don't write it down anywhere. Okay, and just have it sticky. So let's move on to the next subject, cyber hygiene. Okay, so to have good cyber hygiene is to make sure that you are being protected against the threat. Okay, so make sure your software is up to date on mobile devices, on laptops. Make sure your antivirus software, okay, if you have antivirus software running, make sure that it's updated. Make sure that when you're downloading files and applications you download from trusted sites, be careful when using USB devices. Okay, it's easy to get a virus from a random USB device. Okay, this is like one of the easiest way of transmitting a virus, malware, Trojan, and so on. Always back up your important data. You can get free backup space from Google Drive, 15 GB there. You can get free 5 GB from your OneDrive. So utilize this and back up important documents so that even if you have an issue with your computer or your laptop, you always have a backup copy of whatever is important data and you don't lose everything. Okay, now change your default passwords, okay, on your routers. This is a bit complicated if you're not technical. Okay, so if you want to read up about it, there are a lot of good documents on how to change your default passwords. So if you don't know your default passwords, look at the back of your router. You might be able to find the router default password and then go ahead and change it. Be careful when you're connecting to untrusted Wi-Fi. Okay, if you are in a public space and you don't trust the Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, especially in airports, coffee shops, it's easy to just connect to a vulnerable or a malicious Wi-Fi SSID and then get your data stolen. Use a mobile hotspot whenever you can. Secure your transactions. Make sure that you use HTTPS. Okay, and physical security. Now, this might again be a bit complicated. So if you're leaving your laptop, I actually saw this. I had gone to a hotel last week, and we had gone to the buffet, and a lady, she was working on it. She just left her laptop not locked. Screen was open. Okay, all her data was there. Okay, and she went to get some food. I could have easily taken out my phone, taken a picture, and this basically is a compromise of data. Okay, so if you have any sensitive information, it's easy as that to get it stolen. Okay, so be very careful of it. Even if you don't lock it physically with this cable lock or something like that, make sure that you do a Control L or Windows L, or on the Mac, just put it to sleep, or just press the power button and it goes into the lock screen. Make sure that you lock your screens. Okay, this is good security. Okay, and leaving your laptops on somewhere. I mean, in Dubai, we tend to have this thing of yes, we trust everyone and we leave the laptop, we leave your wallet, mobile phone, everything on the table and go grab the coffee. But no, be careful of this. Okay, because it's easy to get your laptop, your devices stolen. Okay, so moving on. So think before you upload personal details, photos, videos. All this can be accessed in the public domain and you cannot take it back. You can, in some cases, delete your post, but not before someone takes a screenshot of it. So it can be there forever. Okay, be careful of your sensitive information. Okay, when you're sharing information, when you're using credit cards on sites that you might not know for the first time, be very careful of what you're doing. Okay, sharing personal details, bank information, all this is very sensitive data. So be very careful when sharing it across SMS, on phone calls, on anywhere, basically, on email and all this. So privacy settings, make sure that you regularly check your privacy settings on your personal devices. Okay, so if you have any questions, anyone, just put it on the chat and I will be happy to reply on this. We have only an hour, so I'm just going to rush through this as well. We have a game as well at the end. So let's test out your how much knowledge you have gained and your knowledge on this. So cyberbullying. Now, this is one of the biggest issues that kids nowadays face. Okay, so if you have teens, if you have kids who are gaming online, who are doing a lot of things online now with this virtual world, especially with COVID, your kids are online a lot, so it's easy to get bullied a lot. Okay, so cyberbullying, when someone uses technology to harass, threaten, embarrass, or target other people. Okay, target another person. So kids might not understand what this is. Okay, and they might just, it's easy to call someone a loser. You know, you're gaming, your son is gaming, and you know, he keeps on fumbling. You know, and then the other kid starts saying, loser, you know, you suck, you know, just close the game, delete the game. These are common phrases that we see in game as well. So be aware of these things. Okay, it can get very toxic in game. Okay, especially when people get very competitive in gaming. You know, they can get very toxic. So you can see this running around. And as a gamer, I have experienced this, and then you get frustrated. You know, especially like, for example, I play Fortnite. So then, you know, when someone shoots my character, and then they start, you know, doing this Fortnite dance, and it gets very, you know, frustrating. You're like, oh man, you know, it gets very angry. So these are things that can be frustrating as well. I guess someone is unmuted. It'll be good if you can be on mute, unless you have a question, of course. So be aware of all this. If you feel that your child is, you know, these are some of the signs of cyberbullying. If you feel that your child is upset, they are being isolated, they're angry, they're depressed, okay, make sure that you talk to them, and you be there, you be supportive, and you understand what's going on. And if needed, talk to a teacher if it's happening at school, during ICT lessons or something like that, or if your school friends, if your child's school friends are bullying them virtually. So be able to reach out to them on this, and be just generally aware of what's going on, because it's easy for parents to get lost in our busy schedules and not be aware of what's going on with your child. Okay, especially teens nowadays. Okay, so this is very important. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Fadil to take us on a fishing trip. Fadil, would you like to take over?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, so to continue, we have like a I'll just go through it fast here, just because of the sake of time. Yeah, if you can go to the next slide, please. So, phishing, like, who knows what's phishing? Like, did anyone hear of phishing or like cyber phishing? Just... Okay, so phishing in the real world. Okay, if we talk about it,
yes,
there's a phishing map. There's a phishing map. Okay, there's a phishing rod. There is a bait and a fish that can be catched. When you're talking, okay, yeah, it's correct. Thanks, doctor. Okay, if you go to the next slide. Okay, so, but phishing in the cyber world is similar to the phishing in the like real world. Well, here we have a hacker. Okay, who's the fisherman? Then a phishing rod, which is an email, like an SMS or like a voice call. Then we have the bait, which is an award or fear, and the fish, which is you. It's called phishing and starts with a P, just to identify it from the other phishing. So what's the number one source of cybercrime? The number one source of cybercrime is, of course, phishing. Like it takes about like 44% out of the other cyber crimes in the world. So it's really important to know what's phishing, and it's really important to know how to spot the phishing. So to spot the phishing, you need to be cautious when you receive emails, phone calls, SMSs from suspicious links and attachments. And and someone requesting sensitive and personal information that you don't know or you're not aware of. You receive an email or receive a WhatsApp message asking you for sensitive information that you're not supposed to give. You receive a phone call that's asking you for the MFA password that you received for the bank or something. And so usually it comes with emotional motivators, like they're telling you, oh, you're winning something, please give us this, please give us that to win that. And then like you just get caught. And usually it's urgent because they just want to do it fast so you don't run away. So they say, oh, you have to do it by today, you have to do it by this and that, just so you can win. And so they can just lure you into just getting caught. It's from a familiar sender, usually, like someone that.
Fadil, could you a little bit louder, Fadil? صوت ما يبين.
Oh. Is it better now?
No, you still seem to be a little bit far away.
Okay. Is it better? Or is it still far?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, I'll get closer to the laptop. It's probably the mic from the laptop. Okay, and it's and now like with COVID, it's like it becomes even more because they're using like crisis-related fears, just like to get you on interacting with them. But usually, just because of the people who send them are usually like unprofessional, so there is like inconsistent formatting in their messages and incorrect spelling and grammars, and this is one of the things that like gets you to know that this is a phishing email. Okay, then moving on. Okay, like under phishing, okay, we have now like something called vishing and smishing. Vishing is like the voice phishing calls, so someone calling you, asking you for something, it's called vishing. And then smishing, which is like SMS phishing. They send you an email or like an SMS asking you to click on a link or to send back something or to contact someone to get more information. We have like some of the examples now for smishing. You can go to the next one. Okay, these are some of the examples. You receive an SMS from the bank, says fraud alert, card, blah, blah, verify your purchases now by replying with your full credit card number. This is definitely a smishing message. And why? Because they're using like emotional motivators, okay? They're saying you now, okay? They're telling you they're requesting sensitive information, credit card number, which is not supposed to be sent. And they're like, and they're probably like some spelling mistakes here and there as well. Like another one from unknown, like unknown user. So suspicious, again, more emotional motivators asking to act fast, and they're using the crisis-related fears, like COVID, and it's like misspelled as well. Then again, like another example, like some like it's delay, emotional motivators again, and asking for payment details. Okay.
So do you think this is a phishing email? Just put it down on the chat, please, if you think this is a phishing email or if it's actually a genuine email. I guess no one has a response. Anybody? Do you think it's a phishing email or do you think it's a genuine email? Maybe it's a genuine email. Looks like one. Windows error report. How do you say that it's phishing, Mahat? Why do you say it's phishing? Yes, indeed. Suspicious spelling and grammar, sense of urgency. So exactly, email address. If you can see that this is actually not a Microsoft email, it's an Outlook.com email address. It's easy to create an Outlook.com email address. again, very, inconsistent formatting, urgency, they're making you see like, I mean, the suspicious login, things like this. Fadil, on to you.
Yeah, so yeah, this is definitely a phishing email because of the like emotional motivators, like the unknown sender, and like maybe those links, some links are legit.
Father, your volume so thick, Father.
Say again, that okay. Yeah, so maybe some links are legit here, but then if you click on the main link, which is like review recent activities, this is the phishing link that will get your data and just like send malwares to your laptop. So just be aware, like for emails, even if it looks legit, be careful of like those small things, and don't click on anything unless you're sure that it's like a safe link to click on. Okay, we can go to the next one. So now we'll talk about malware. Malware is like things that infect our like machines.
Should I play the video?
Yeah, please, you can go ahead and play it.
Sure.
Viruses, worms, Trojans, and bots are all part of a class of software called malware. The overwhelming majority of malware is created to make money illegally, often by stealing sensitive and confidential information from victims' computers and mobile devices. Malware can also be used for cyber vandalism, cyber espionage, hacktivism, cyber warfare, and various other reasons. Malware can make entry onto your computer via questionable file downloads, visiting infected websites, or through email containing a seemingly benign link or attachment. Common types of malware. Viruses. Almost all viruses are attached to an executable file, which means the virus may exist on a system but will not spread until a user opens the infected program. Viruses often originate on the internet and spread when downloading a file infected with a virus, peer-to-peer file sharing, or email attachment. Trojan. A Trojan is a harmful piece of software that looks legitimate. Users are typically tricked into leading and executing it on their systems. Trojans can not only steal your sensitive data, they can also give cyber crooks access to your system. Trojans are employed to gain access to your computer's financial and personal information. Ransomware. Ransomware holds your PC hostage and demands money. It locks up your computer, threatening to destroy data, demanding ransom or a payment for release of your data, files, or to regain the ability to use your computer again. Spyware. Spyware secretly gathers private information about the user activity, such as internet usage, and logs keystrokes via the process of keylogging to steal passwords and other sensitive data. Worms. Worms can replicate themselves and infect multiple computers on a network, causing major damage. Network worms often use computer networks to spread, slowing down traffic and relying on security failures such as outdated operating systems and no antivirus programs installed. In contrast, viruses require the spreading of an infected host file. Worms are a standalone software and do not require a host or human help to spread. The best way to protect your system from malware is to keep your operating system clean by downloading regular patches, updates, and making sure that your computer is protected by the latest antivirus software from a trusted vendor.
Okay, that was like a quick video, like explaining malware. So like more details about malwares found online, of course, but like this is like a short description of like the malware that can be infected, infect your computers. Most of them are like one of the reasons that they're in your machines, like by clicking or downloading something like interesting. So be aware of what you click on and be aware of what you download.